Welcome back to my channel. Today we will be making this focaccia style pizza. So we'll get right to it. So I start by measuring some flour in a bowl. I'm using bread flour, and I'll put the recipe in the caption. And it was pretty easy to make. So yeah, putting some flour in. Once I get 500 grams, I will add some warm water. So in this recipe, the water is kind of variable just depending on where you are, the kind of flour that you're using. I think I ended up using about 420, maybe a little bit over. But in the recipe, you'll see that it calls for a range of 390 to 420. Okay, so I ended up putting 400. And then shortly after, I'll add other things like some yeast. I'll add the honey, and I'll add the olive oil, salt, and pepper. And then I mix and mix and mix. While mixing, I'm trying to get all the flour from the sides of the bowl. So I mix until a wet, shaggy dough forms, after which I let it rest. Oh, here I'm adding a little water because I'm realizing that my dough is a little bit dry. So anyway, I mix, and after I mix, I cover it up with some cling film, and then I let it rest for half an hour. So it's been 30 minutes. I pull my dough out and I do a set of stretch and folds, which is just pulling up the dough from underneath, stretching it and folding it over, and repeating that 4 times. And then after that's complete, I kind of try to fold the dough over on itself to kind of tighten it a little bit. And then I cover it again and put it away for 30 minutes to rest. And it's best to use wet hands for the stretch and fold, so it makes it easier. So here's me again bringing it out after the second 30-minute rest. So you can see my bowl of water. I'm wetting my hands, and I'm going to do a set of stretch and folds. So like I said, pull from underneath, fold it over, pull from underneath, and fold it over. And then this time, after I'm done with the stretch and folds, I tighten it out, like I pulled it over on itself to tighten it up. And then after that, I let it rest for 2 hours now, just to give it time to rise. So you'll notice on the timer I put 90 minutes because that's like the maximum amount of time I can put on my microwave timer. So after that's done, I go ahead and add another 30 minutes. Anyway, so while that's rising, I'm like prepping my toppings. So I first grated some garlic, some cheese, and then I go ahead and brown off my sausage. I know some people don't cook their sausage before and they put it on the pizza, but I don't know, I just find that yucky to have like raw meat on my pizza. And I know that it'll cook, but anyway, I don't like that, so I brown off my sausage first before putting it on my pizza. And then after I finish browning up the sausage, I believe I go ahead and make my marinara sauce. Like I use one from a jar, but I just kind of zhuzh it up a bit. Like I add some garlic and some spices. So yeah, here's me doing my marinara sauce, which, like I said, I'll add that. I'll add some garlic. I'll add some salt and pepper. And some basil. So that's actually Thai basil. I find it more fragrant than regular basil. And I usually don't use it in like pizza pasta things, but that's all I had on this day. And honestly, it worked. So yeah. So here I've pulled my dough out because it's been 2 hours. So I'm like prepping my tray with some olive oil and some parchment paper. So as you all know, focaccia does require a lot of oil to kind of give it that, you know, classic crunch. And yeah, so that's what I'm doing. Like I said, also, I rarely ever measure. So I just go by look and feel. So here's me putting it up on the tray. I'm going to try and stretch it out a bit. It's sometimes really hard to work with. Just because of how sticky and wet the dough is. So I'm trying to stretch it out so I can fold it over on itself and then turn it over before I leave it to rest for another hour and a half to 2 hours. So that's what I've done here. So this is me. I've pulled it out. It's had time to rest again for, I think it was an hour and a half. I don't truly recall. So anyway, I'm trying to stretch it out to the sides, and then so I could go ahead and, you know, start dimpling it, which on this day, honestly, I don't believe that I left it long enough because it was really hard for me to, like, you know, stretch it out. Like usually when I leave it for 2 hours, it's like actually stretches out on its own. Anyway, regardless, I kind of worked with it the best I could. So here I am dimpling it. And because I'm making a pizza, I decided to par-bake the focaccia before I put the toppings. So here's me putting it in the oven for about 12 minutes for it to par-bake. And shortly after, well, not shortly after, 12 minutes after I, you know, pull it out to start putting the toppings on. So here I am, I'm putting the cheese on first, and then I'm just putting some marinara sauce. I don't like pizza that's like heavy on sauce. So I just put like a little bit, and then we put the ground sausage on, and then I go ahead and add the pepperoni. My son's helping me. We're putting it on, and then shortly after that, we add more cheese, and yeah, we put it back in the oven to bake. So the pizza is ready. I'm gonna go ahead and cut it up. I honestly didn't do a good job cutting this up. I guess I was in a hurry and I was just over, everything. Because you guys, like, shooting content and trying to like get dinner ready in time for dinner is not easy at all. So anyway, I cut it up. I was gonna cut it like just into 8, and then I thought, whoa, that's too big, and then I kind of changed my mind and cut it into 12. So they're not like even pieces at all. So anyway, I cut it up, and then I take one piece, and I'll show you guys. I think I show the bottom of that, like just to show you how crisp the crust gets. But because my house is always noisy, I couldn't do like a taste test with the ASMR crunch. So guys, that's the whole video. Thank you for watching. I hope you try it out. Leave me a comment, like, share. Thank you.